matter because of how many units he has. Like the difference between 9 and 10 damage here doesn't matter. I'm just not sure why he Dark Returned before combat.
You're watching the Eternal Tournament Series.
And we are back for round 5 of the Season 5 Eternal Tournament Series Invitational. Round 5 is also known as Losers Bracket Round 3, or maybe Alternative Winners Bracket Round 3. I don't know what we're going with anymore, but I'll stick to what I know.
Alternative progression.
Yeah.
Success.
Yep. So joining me in the booth, as always, I guess, or for now at least,
for
now. Yeah, whoever is in the booth with me. Currently, it is Mark, aka Chibikawaii. We've got a classic lined up for us with this match.
Yeah, we got big old Combray, and then we got Burn Queen. So the big Combray list.
This is what some people like to refer to as the Cluck 90, right? The Angry Chicken has been a very strong Combray player. And other Combray players are like, I like what he's doing. So this is pretty similar to the 90 you see from Angry Chicken. Not quite the same. 3 protects instead of 4. Harsh rules in the main deck.
Yep.
Makes me feel a little icky, but it could end up helping out here as Flash on big Combray is going up against SMJ on Burn Queen's back.
Yeah. Also, I think Flash, making a little bit of a call out to Angry Chicken, since naming the name of the big Combray deck is Chicken Please. Felt relevant to point that out, but
yeah.
SMJ on the Burn Queen looks very similar to last week's ETS list. That who was running that? I forget who was running it at the time. Like the one assembly line, and I'm trying to see.
No, the big thing here is traditionally one of Combray's weaknesses is rapid shot. There are 0 rapid shots. Jason. There's some cool stuff to go up against Combray, especially the sideboard Madness Bust package is pretty cool against a big bulky mid-range list. But yeah, no rapid shots could end up being a problem against a deck that's got 4 Combray Healer, 4 Sandstorm Titan, 4 Seraph, yada yada yada. So we'll have to see if they end up missing out on that card. But they are packing 3 Suffocate, certainly. Cool.
Yeah, and the Suffocate should take them. Should do a fair amount of work, at least with for Flash's early minutes or early minions, if you will. Like the Combray, being able to take out Combray Healer and Seraph and Valkyrie Enforcer, as well as the Desert Marshals and the Temple Scribes, seems pretty decent.
Yeah, this is a matchup we've seen plenty of in the past, and it can go either way. Who gets the play, who gets the draw. Does the Queen deck curve out the way it wants to? We're just gonna have to wait and find out. As players are resolving mulligans right now, we've given them the go ahead, or they should be getting it shortly. And looks like Flash is on the play in game 1, and that might be the most important part of this matchup.
Yeah, I could easily see that. Like, I will say though that SMJ's list, they've got a fair amount of removal with the 3 Suffocates and the 4 Annihilates, and obviously 4 Torches and whatnot. So I'm curious to see if Flash has got a lot of units, so Flash should be able to power through it. So maybe it's not as big of a concern.
Yeah, we'll just have to see if the right removal and the right threats line up against each other, right? This is a Burn Queen. It can be low to the ground and explosive. It's got the 4 Grenadine drones built in, but it's still got some good top end. Double Soulfire Drake for Queen. There's a lot of beef there.
And I like the bar is favor to the face there.
Oh yeah,
SMJ. Not a lot of targets on Flash's side, so just get that point of damage in, get that power for next turn.
But Seraph comes down, stops the assault of this Pyro Knight, and a completely unbuffed Champion of Chaos is the response for SMJ. Flash has a Desert Marshal in hand, but also a Vanquish, so might just not want to silence this Champion of Chaos, and we'll see how he responds as SMJ pulls a banner off the top and jams it.
Yeah, I actually, given that SMJ has the 2 torches, I actually kind of like attacking with the Pyro Knight.
Ooh, I don't know if I love that so much because Pyro Knight can still threaten all. But anyway, the Desert Marshal comes down here, turns that 4-3 into a 3-3. The 3-4 from Seraph gets in front of it, and that ends up being. Flash looks to be considering, just wants to play out the Marshal Iron Thorn here, which SMJ has a Obliterate that'll line up nicely.
And then he will be able to just fire that straight off, and then keeping in turn with that Pyro Knight staying back, so that way next turn SMJ will be able to ultimate it, and it'll become nice little threat for him that'll be able to push him through some stuff. However, the 2 Vanquishes sitting in Flash's hand will answer it pretty quickly.
Yep, Mystic Ascendant, not the card you always really want to see against Burn, especially when you're planning on vanquishing next turn. But could still end up being the card that helps Flash in the corner. In the meantime, Pyro Knight becomes a 6-5, as you said. SMJ's got 2 more power in hand, sitting on 8 power. Not exactly the kind of draw you want. And wow, Flash finds a Protect off of this Temple Scribe, and that means next turn he's guaranteed to be able to Mystic Ascendant, maybe plus Protect. Actually, not guaranteed to have Protect up with this other power being depleted.
Also interesting to note, whereas some lists of Burn Queens run Flame Blast, so they can utilize the Flood when it happens. SMJ, no Flame Blasts anywhere on the list.
Yep, 0 Flame Blast, just the 4 Obliterate, going back to the Soulfire Drake plan, essentially. Used to play one or the other depending on what the meta looked like, and now players are just settling on Soulfire Drake because of the Flame. Flash opting to still hold on to this depleted power again, just guaranteed to go Mystic Ascendant plus Protect held up next turn. There's no reason to deprive yourself of anything else. SMJ finding more power. Not a good spot. Also, no monuments in SMJ's list,
which is interesting as well. I guess if a few more impending dooms can come off the top, we're going to be able to see something. But I think this is going to be slowly slipping away from SMJ and falling more heavily on Flash's side of things. Yeah,
Flash having that Protect up is huge.
Exactly.
And now fighting a Marshal Iron Thorn and a Valkyrie Enforcer. I mean, SMJ had some opportunities there to maybe change some Soulfire Drakes into Burn Queen, Bandit Queen, something like that. But that door is shut now as SMJ is down to 9 health and draws him.
And we are going to see SMJ scoop him up after that.
Yeah.
And so we'll move to sideboards.
Yeah. The aggro deck doesn't have a lot of power sinks, and we see it there as both players drew a lot of power, but when one converts that extra power into extra cards and the other one converts that into dying, one player will be advantaged.
Yeah. And it looks like Flash is either just not sideboarding at all or already has a sideboard pre-made. Looks like already has a sideboard pre-made.
Yeah, again, the bracket is public knowledge. They had some time to pre-sideboard as we were setting up coverage, so wouldn't be shocked if some of the players are already pretty prepared. And also, it's against, a deck you were expecting. Burn Queen is not exactly a shocking deck here. Even if every build has its own flavor, you're going to go up to 4%.
SMJ going down to 1 Annihilate and 2 Obliterates.
Okay, yeah, there's some weird stuff going on here. I don't like one of Sabotage.
Yeah.
But again, I think the Combust Madness package I don't really know why the 1 Sabotage is coming in. Somehow that's better than other removal spells, but we'll see if that ends up being useful. But yeah, Flash just brought in Protect, Awakened Students, Voice of the Speaker, just go lower in the curve. Harsh Rule, while it is a nice card when you get behind on board, isn't as good when your opponent has 6 charging units and stuff like that, set the board quickly. So it's generally better to just leverage your large units and control the board.
SMJ, though, having a nice aggressive hand this time around.
And also being first is a big...
Yes. Absolutely huge.
Yes, so SMJ can actually deploy... but this Seed of Chaos being depleted means can only get 1 Grenadin drone out here rather than 2, and that's going to be a big difference in the clock here, as Flash is going to pass the turn again here.
Well, there is a 3rd power, so they're going to be able to play... Yep. that Argenport Instigator, and another Grenadin drone. So if we find a power and or a Bandit Queen sometime in the next couple turns, good things are going to happen. However, that Combray healer, it's going to do some work along with this Seraph. Also going to block very well.
Yep, Flash opting to go with Seraph. That means if the Seraph blocks the 3/3 here, the 3/3 does die, but it also means Seraph dies to this Varus favor.
Yep.
So we'll see that happen here. Another Grenadin drone likely to come out, as SMJ's not worried about Harsh Rule, at least for another 2 turns, and his opponent's at 13. So commit to this board, hope to either draw Bandit Queen, or if you draw Power, hey, obliterates live. So not really too many bad draws for SMJ here as a Sandstorm Titan.
No, not at all. Bandit Queen is probably still the best. However, an 8/8 off the top, not the worst thing either.
Not the worst thing. Does die to Vanquish, but if Flash doesn't draw undepleted power, that means this Vanquish won't get paired with another unit. Flash
just passes the turn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Huh. Doesn't play out the Impending Doom. I guess respecting the Harsh Rule here and wanting Impending Doom to reload. But that's going to give Flash a ton of breathing.
Yeah. I don't know. My opinion is if you're playing an aggressive deck and you're already like this far in, I think you gotta go for it.
Yeah, so now the Impending Doom comes out a turn later. All that really meant was Flash got to use the power out of hand instead of having to use a Vanquish last turn. So like ultimately, this delayed Impending Doom isn't like a huge impact on the game. It just meant wouldn't get to play a Champion of Chaos this turn and force Flash to use a Vanquish. There's going to be some ramifications for this. Flash is doing a good job of stable.
Yeah, so I'm looking. SMJ needs to figure out a way to force through 4 damage. That is a way to do it.
There's the Queen. But
I think you just. I don't know. I feel like you just slam Bandit Queen, get in, hope you draw power off the top.
Yeah. You Queen here for 6 damage, and then they're in obliterate range. Yeah.
Going back and forth to that champion, though.
I don't know whether I think just slam Queen, get them in obliterate range is kind of what you have to do here. Maybe it's not what you have to do, but
that seems like the highest win percentage play currently for like just straight up winning on the next turn, right?
But it looks
we haven't seen any pauses.
Yeah, Champion of Chaos. Maybe if that was their only Vanquish, could be good, especially if you find something like Bandit Queen is a good way to complement the Champion of Chaos. And yeah, we see SMJ go with the Champ instead of the Queen. Champ gets answered by a Vanquish, and I imagine Flash will just drop the Parliament as a 4/4.
See, and I wasn't a big fan of the Champion of Chaos either, because you still need a power off the top, and it's not just any power at that point. It's a shadow power in order to really force through a ton of damage with it. Because yes, it has Overwhelm, but you really wanted to have Deadly.
Yep. Another Obliterate shows up here, but now if you slam Queen in A space and try and get him into Obliterate range, you die on the crack. You are dead.
Yeah.
So now he just plays Queen, has to pass.
Ugh.
Not a good spot. Now you're going to start chump blocking Titan, but at least you have a lot of chump blockers for.
Yeah, I think at this point you're just crossing your fingers that another Combray healer does not come off the top.
Yeah.
Since she's still able to, if you can find a power, still able to play the 2 obliterates.
Yeah, you're on the chump block Titan. Or actually, wow. Going to 4 here means if your opponent, Flash plays the other Titan, but I don't know if I would have done that if I was because you could have just vanquished one of your Titans and had lethal flying. Oh, well, now you can silence a Titan and vanquish a Titan and lethal flying. And SMJ's capped out. So we'll see if Flash sees the lethal light.
Oh, there's some mouse movement.
Oh, no. Ace face.
Oh, no.
Flash does not see the guaranteed lethal. That means he's dead.
SMG. Yeah.
Like, Flash could have simply won the game by using Valkyrie Enforcer to silence a Titan and vanquish his other Titan. Would have had 7 attack in the skies, plenty to kill his opponent. Doesn't find the line, and SMJ gets the win.
To be fair to Flash, not the most intuitive line. You have to do some stuff on both of my units. Like you have to do things that you're typically doing on your opponent's units on your own units.
It's not an easy line to see, which is why you didn't see it. But as a Combray player, it's one that you're used to doing in board style.
Yes.
Taking out your own Titans and winning with Flyer. It's a signature move of the Cluck 90. So, anyways, we get to go to game 3.
What's this Cluck 90?
Cluck 90. Chicken, please.
All right. Well, all right.
Oh my god, you need to brush up on your eternal lore. This stuff is canon at this point. Angry Chicken bestowed the knowledge of Combray upon the rest of the world.
Well, all right.
Look, I understand. I understand. This is a lot to take in. You've only learned how to pronounce Moosh's name today, so.
It's Moosh's, and then there's still that man guy, man versus game. I think I'm not quite sure something.
Anyway, we are on to game 3. The Queen player is on the draw, but has the first blood on board with Grenadin Drone and Pyro Knight, while Flash has to play Depleted Power and can't play out a Temple Scribe or an Awakened. Finds a power off this Temples.
Yeah, not doing a lot at the moment, but we'll see. SMJ not doing a ton either. However, being able to play those 2 Impending Dooms, pretty good, though also answered partially by the 2 Valkyrie Enforcers and the Sandstorm Titan that Flash has got in hand.
Yeah, but those are only answered by it once, Flash finds the power. So SMJ not swinging with Pyro Knight there, opting, already on 5 power, thinking, hey, I might end up ultimating this game. Pyro Knight dodges the silence because the silence comes down on the Champion of Chaos instead, and swings in with just the champ and deploys an impending.
Yeah. Now the Valkyrie Enforcer is a little weird. You don't really want to silence the Impending Doom because all that does is put a 5/5 on your opponent's board, and they're no longer taking a point of damage every turn.
Yeah, instead opts to deploy the 2/5 here. You could have considered silencing the Pyro Knight so that it never gets the ulti, because now if your opponent, is curving out here, well, it looks like you get to silence it anyways here, unless you want to go Awakened Student, hold up Protect.
That looked like what Flash was motioning towards.
Yeah, I guess if you do that, you can still double block the Pyro Knight when it ultimates, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and there we go.
That's fair. And then, all Flash is hoping for is to keep drawing power so you can get Storm Titan down with Protect. But man, SMJ rips Soulfire Drake off the top, but is going to opt to still get the ulti and while.
Yeah, so he's going to be falling down to 10 here. That's not particularly high, especially when we see that Soulfire Drake hanging out.
Yeah.
We'll see the Sandstorm Titan come down next turn, but that's still going to be anywhere between 6 and 11 damage getting through.
Yep. So Sandstorm Titan, no Protect up, but SMJ doesn't have a spell to blow that out anyways. Instead, just slams the Soulfire Drake, hits the A space, resigned to lose a 5/5 and a 5/2 here, but now the rest of his deck will get Flying or.
And now we're in Obliterate range if we can find one of those off the top.
Yeah, and that's provided Flash
lowers
the protection.
With the 2.
But I don't think that'll be happening.
Yeah,
Flash actually has a very good shot of stabilizing. He's got a Sandstorm Titan with protection up, even double protect. So this is a tough spot for SMJ to get out of. This is where we talk about how Rapid Shot can be a very powerful card, but SMJ doesn't have that. Instead has a Flying Charge Bandit.
All right.
That's pretty good ripoff.
I don't know if it's enough.
It's enough to get your opponent to 1 for now and then have a bunch of 1/1s in play, and that's a really good spot to be.
That's fair.
That's fair. I don't think you can come up with a better draw for SMJ in this station. Especially with your opponent having Protects in hand, it means all your Ooh, boy. This
has been a match.
Yeah, even if Flash plays out both his units here, Flash is dead to these 1-1 Granadin drones. So, yeah, that's going to be game. Flash making a big mistake in game 2. Not finding the lethal means they go to game 3 and SMJ takes the series.
All right. Well, there we go. And this is obviously SMJ coming out on top here. Though the Sandstorm Titan is probably the number one reason why going down to the 1 Annihilate makes the feel, or 2 Annihilate feels really weird.
Yeah, but again, they brought in Madness and Combust. They cut removal.
Yeah, I don't think. Did they actually bring the Madness in?
I don't know, but they at least brought in Combust. So they just felt Combust was better than Annihilate.
Okay.
We at least saw that. But either way, we didn't see any Madness or Combust. We just saw SMJ take the match, wins it 2-1 over Flash. And that means Flash is out of the tournament. SMJ moves on to round 4 of the losers bracket, which we'll be getting to not right now, but a little bit later. So it looks like we still got a few matches going on. Tatsumaki, though, continuing the Felon Control tradition of going to the losers bracket early on and just cleaning it up. 2-0's Bradykin takes out a Chalice deck. Meanwhile, we don't have any results from Balak, Komodo, or Hulkbuster Child Roland. I don't know if that means we'll get to drop in on one of those matches. We'll hear from our coverage shortly.
Yeah, I believe we're going to be switching over to Balak and Komodo.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, we've got Balak Komodo. So let's transition on over to that right now. Balak is currently leading 1-0 over Komodo. This is an Argenport mid-range list. We saw Balak play early on and take out Unearthly, and Komodo is on a big Combre list. I'm not sure the exact one, but we're post-board anyways. Yeah, see Protect coming out and protecting.
Komodo's got quite a bit of an Air Force going. I don't know if you're able to see the match just yet, but Balak just picking it up.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to be going to game 3.
So, yeah, we're going to game 3. This is tied up 1-1. Looks like those owls were about to kill Balak in the sky as he had a bunch of flyers, but they were all silent. So we'll be dipping back to sideboards, although that was game 2, so I don't think they'll change up too much here. We'll probably just see another challenge go out rather quickly.
And now we do have Komodo on Cluck 90.
It is Cluck 90. All right, so will another chicken deck get eliminated here? We'll have to wait and see. Nope. Meanwhile, Angry Chicken still in the. Yeah, he knows how to silence his own.
Yeah. Sometimes I was gonna make a Zelda joke, and then I'm not. I'll leave it. It's fine. However, it looks like Komodo and Flash are on the same, close to the same 70, or close to the same 90, and it looks like the same 75.
Yeah, most of the 90s will be the same. It's just sometimes the 75s change. As we saw, Flash had 2 Harsh Rules main decks and stuff like that, where normally you would see 0 Harsh Rule in certain versions, or all 4. So
well, Komodo's got the 2 Harsh Rule in the main.
Okay, so
also
they're
can also side into Voto combo with 3 Vodacons in the sideboard.
Yeah, we see that as well out of a lot of Combre lists where you just need to go bigger than the other time decks by just Votocon's a really good way to go real big.
Draw a whole deck at a giant creature, why not?
So we're still waiting on this challenge to go back out. Looks like Balak still has the Umbran Reapers in this matchup and Auric Runehammers, even though you're up against Combre. You don't think about those cards being great, but apparently they're making the cut here against a deck with a lot of large units and a lot of silences for these Umbran Reapers.
Yeah. Like, if Umbran Reaper was a 6-1, I could understand a little bit more. Because at least it trades it.
The idea is, once you have so many must-silence threats, maybe the Umbran Reapers end up dodging it. Where it's not like you can bring in many more threats. The idea would just be you bring in more protects and cut some threats somewhere.
Makes sense. All right, so it looks like our opponents are gearing up to jump into that third game. Should be a fun one. I just want to see Bart, do some things.
I don't.
That's because Bart's like your favorite card in the game, and you really don't want to see any imperfected plays with it. Is that what I'm sensing?
I would say playing Bart is imperfection.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. If you can get like you get a Falchion and a Hammer of Might on a Bart, that seems. I feel like very few things are going to be better than that.
I'm sorry. I just got back from dropping the mic there. It looks like we're still waiting on mulligans to resolve. And Balak goes into cool hand. It's depleted, but it's got a curve to it.
I mean, a sigil off the top does some great things for Balak.
Yeah. In the meantime, Komodo's still looking at a hand that's double Seraph, double Martial Ironthorn, but doesn't have double Justice. So no guarantee, even if you draw some more power, that you can cast these Ironthorns. And might want a little more early interaction, right? That hand reads, I lose to Bartolo. And I think Komodo is going to keep that in mind.
Yeah. So we're just going to see Komodo play that banner and then pass the turn. Yeah, so like so Balak really needs a sigil come this turn. Like on the turn 2 in order to actually be able to play everything. Well, all right. Well,
he would like that, but instead gets an Emerald Monument. So yeah, no 3/3 that's going to come out here. But again, the 3/3 is just going to get.
Yeah, it gets blocked. Yeah.
But then you would have been able to slay and keep the tempo going instead. Not the case. Balak plays out the monument there instead of one of the seats and finds some good action. Valkyrie Force is a nice card, but not solving this all the seats are depleted problem as an Artport Instigator comes out.
The good news is if another power comes off the top, then Balak is going to be able to play Mokto, at least on 5. And this Rune Hammer is not the worst here. At least it gets to take out Seraph.
Well, that's if you could cast it, but that is not the case here. But yeah, the Rune Hammer at least has a target at some point, which is a nice feature. I think we're going to see a slay on a Titan for now, though.
Slay on Titan, or do you think there's any merit just playing out the second Instigator and double blocking?
I don't like the second Instigator. If I'm going to do anything then other than slay, I would consider using Valkyrie Enforcer to just silence like Titan or Seraph and still have a double block somewhere.
Okay.
But yeah, the slay comes out instead, deals with the Titan now. Because again, this sets up better for Auric Runehammer if that's what you want your follow-up to be. Because then you don't have to worry about the Titan still being or having to double block it and get blown out.
Yeah, this Desert Marshal though is going to put little chink in the train. So
yeah, Auric Runehammer, while it looks like an appealing play, it turns out your opponent has a Desert Marshal. That'll get to jump in the way of this hammer. Then the Seraph will be able to take it out on the crackback turn.
Well, since the Instigator is going to be silenced, I guess Overwhelm from Seraph. Yeah, so there's literally zero way that this weapon is surviving.
Well, you can chump block with the 3/3. And I guess you would actually do now that you.
Oh, true.
You just block with the Instigator, and then that, like, would you rather have Instigator or Hammer? Is the question that Balak has. Does have a Lethrai Fountain. Maybe he wants to have a target for it. But again, this 3/3 is essentially a dead card because it's a 3/4 on the other side of the board, and I think Balak realizes that. Of course, best laid plans often get Combre healer.
Yeah. So Seraph's going to be sitting at a 3/7 now, more than likely.
Yep. Now the hammer still does get to take out the Combre. Yep. Like, that's still something.
Ooh.
And a Mokto might be able to come down.
Yeah, I kind of like Mokto into Falchion next turn.
It's not a bad play, but it looks like instead he's going to go Valkyrie Enforcer plus Gator.
Perfectly respectable.
Yeah. This gets a flyer down. Komodo finds another Vanquish, which hits nothing for now. It'll eventually hit. It's just dead for now. and passes over to Balak.
Do you think we're going to see the Falchion, or do we think we're going to respect the possibility of Vanquish?
I think we see the 3/3 swing for some pauses and then Moto, but nope. I never know what Balak's going to do, and it turns out he just wants to get aggressive with the Falchion. So gets him for a chunk of 7, and that'll get quickly vanquished. I don't know. You're already owning the skies. I just didn't see the benefit of getting that chunk of damage in right there. Whereas, like, if you swing first and there's no pause, and you know they don't have Desert Marshal, then Mokdo's really good on this board because they don't have a Titan. But that's not what Balak was thinking. He was thinking get in 4 extra damage, and now Komodo finds a Titan.
However, the Valkyrie Enforcer is going to help that situation just a little bit.
If you use Enforcer here, you don't get to play any other threats. And the Titan, while it is 5 damage, you are at 30. So
that's very true. So maybe Mokto is the correct play, and then you can go ahead and silence the Titan on the next turn and then swing in the air for 5.
Yeah. That's what I would think about doing, but it looks like Balak instead is going for a bit more of a defensive line with this Steward of the Pass to just gum up the ground. But again, you're playing as the silence this Titan at some point. I kind of like just trying to get threats down before you're. But here's a Bart.
Yeah. That gets by the old Titan.
It does, but it looks like instead Balak is now finally going to play this Mokdo. It would be weird to decide to do it at this point, but no. There's Bartolo the Seducer. Can get its Aegis popped by a Combre Healer, as we noted. Komodo drew one last turn and opted to not use it. So thinking about this exact situation we're doing.
Yeah. So is it that Bart's like trying too hard and he hasn't been able to seduce you? I'm really trying to figure out the hatred for Bart.
There's no hate. I respect Bart. So like, so looks like the Seraph gets silenced, but Balak choosing to slow roll this Vanquish for now. Doesn't need to have anything take to the skies just yet. Maybe
but we know that
Missing Ascendant.
We know that Komodo runs a total of 4 protects. And we knew there wasn't a pause that turn, so I think I'd rather just go ahead and play it safe, get that Sandstorm Titan off the board.
Well, this is peculiar. Because I was going to say, well, swinging with just Bart means we're not going to see Vanquish here, but then we saw the hammer. So not sure why you would elect to not Mokdo there if he wasn't going to swing with the Valkyrie Enforcer.
Balak, I guess, just playing super conservatively, waiting for Komodo to take some sort of response. I guess just doesn't feel like they can just chip away for 2 a turn, and there's no reason to risk getting more aggressive.
The idea here is that while answering Titan is convenient in the short run, Balak's thinking more about the long run right now, where his opponent could find more flyers or Mystic Ascendants and wants to save the Vanquish for one of those targets instead. In the meantime, only hit his opponent for 2 a turn. I would have preferred to hit my opponent for 5 a turn these past few turns.
Yeah.
But I understand the hedging. I really don't understand not playing Mokdo at all.
Yeah, I also like swinging with some of the 3/3s, right? Just make
especially with a hammer.
Yeah.
So there we see it. The Combre Healer pops Aegis, then the Valkyrie Enforcer silences Bart, no longer unblockable. I just don't like Balak doing 0 things.
And now the Falchion. Yeah.
But now he's got to unclutter this whole board before he can even slam a Falchion on anything. I think we're finally going to see this Vanquish hit Titan. And then you can Falchion the Valkyrie Enforcer, but
yeah.
Oh no, you can hammer the Valkyrie Enforcer on your opponent's side and Okay, fair enough.
I still think you Falchion the Valkyrie Enforcer though. Because that's a 2-turn clock.
I mean, we've seen Balak use Lithran Falchion this way earlier this game, right? Where you just slam it and go and get in for the chunk of 7. And there it goes.
Yeah, now Komodo has to have an answer.
Which Komodo with the timely protect, so not. But yeah, Vanquish goes on the Enforcer. 34-7.
Slam Mokdo pass?
You can swing with Steward of the Pass.
The Steward, yeah.
And You know, that's a clock they have to deal with. Or double block it and take damage from like instigator triggers, or you get a silence out of their hand, and then your mock goes better.
Yeah.
So I love swinging with Steward. Then the question becomes, yeah, we're seeing it here. Do you play the instigator first, or do you follow up with mock?
Ugh. I like just getting the Mocto out there, but
They go instigator first, and the intriguing thing now is that Komodo has protect, but if he didn't, that means Harshor would be lethal. He doesn't.
yeah, I like. I don't know. I like playing the Mocto because that guarantees lethal next turn.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know what. I mean, they're probably going to have lethal no matter what, but that just kind of ensures it, right? Because then next turn you get to play your second instigator. They have to block. They're going to take a few more points of damage.
Annihilate with 0 targets, Vanquish with 0 targets. Looks like just Stewart's coming in here. And, yeah, that seems like a reasonable attack. You could have ace space, and that means they would have lost their Combre healer and taken damage from Stewart, which sounds like lethal, but you see pauses from your opponent, so you're not sure what that is.
That's true, I guess, and then you can protect against the...
Balak's just been so conservative. But it looks like it's going to pay out as Komodo just floods here. But he could have been really punished by giving Combre this mid-draw.
Yeah. I think there were a couple other lines that definitely allowed them to get a little bit more aggressive and end this game a little earlier, but how much of a difference that actually would have made, that who knows.
But looks like Balak hits the ace space, connects for lethal, and takes this match. Stays alive in the Invitational.
Yeah. Congratulations, Balak.
And that is the last match of this round. So Balak moves on to losers bracket round 4, which will be the final round, but that's not what we're covering. We'll be getting into a winners bracket round 3. But first, yeah, of course, congrats to everybody that survived that round. Hulkbuster, Balak, SMJ, Tatsumaki, all still alive in the Invitational, making the top. We're now into the top 12. So next we'll be moving on to the winners bracket round 3 to guarantee some top 8 slots. But first, a little plug for aReNGee Eternal. They're the website and organization that runs the Eternal Tournament Series, but also has an awesome website with lots of great Eternal resources. Daily articles from Loco Pojo, aReNGee, Neon, Lights Out Ace, ranked tier lists, stock lists, and of course, all the information you could ever want about the Eternal Tournament Series is also at aReNGeeternal.com. So if you're ever looking for more information about Eternal, how to get better, or maybe things to avoid to not get worse, aReNGeeternal.com is a great resource for that. And with that, I think it's time to get ready for winners bracket round 3, Mark.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, so we're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be back with more Eternal Tournament Series Invitational action in just a